It is brought to us by the Department of Labor and deals with unemployment insurance, seeking to adjust the rate multiplier from 1.3 to 1.2. So briefly, how does the unemployment insurance program work? And I'll just be brief on that, but it's a federal-state partnership based on federal law, but administered by state employees under the Idaho Employment Security Law. Unemployment insurance benefits are funded through a tax on employers, which is collected by the Idaho Department of Labor and placed in a federal trust fund. Money in that fund can only be used for unemployment benefits. A business unemployment insurance tax rate is set by Idaho code. This legislation changes that tax formula for experienced rated employers. Idaho Code 721350 establishes the unemployment insurance tax and defines how it's to be calculated. And this formula takes into account the current balance of the unemployment insurance trust fund and the amount of revenue needed to maintain a balance that provides for 15.6 months of benefits based on our past experience. The formula looks at the three highest cost benefit years over the last 20-year period to account for the severity of a possible draw on the trust fund, and this formula creates the base tax rate. And currently, over the past 20 years, those high cost years have been 2003, 2009, and 2010, and we all know 9 and 10 was the Great Recession, and of course that would drive those years incredibly high. So because of the formula that's embedded in state code, those high cost year anomalies set the new multiplier at 1.3. House Bill 428 seeks to ease the sting of that reality by lowering the multiplier to 1.2, which will save Idaho businesses $44 million in 2024 and $117 million over the next 5 years. And another thing it's going to do, instead of having 15.6 months of reserves, the formula would calculate the amount of revenue needed to maintain 14.4 months of reserves. But keep in mind that since coming out of the Great Recession, Idaho has been very conservative in their approach in our unemployment insurance trust fund, and as a result, we are in the top 10 in the nation for trust fund solvency. So in summary, there is a balance to be made between trust fund solvency and collecting more taxes than is necessary, and we believe decreasing the multiplier will not threaten the solvency, while at the same time providing a 20% tax cut to Idaho businesses. Mr. President, the debate is open.
What about the unemployed?
Is there
that
further
need
debate?
Money? You just
Hearing none, Senator Guthrie, you're recognized to close the debate.
Mr. President, thank you again for the commendation to move this up. I know the Department of Labor will be appreciative of that. Debate is closed.
Debate being closed. The question before the Senate is, shall House Bill
That means
428
less money
pass?
if you're unemployed.
Mr. President.
Senator Lee.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that the roll call vote used for the passage of Senate Bill 1346 be now used for the passage of House Bill 428.
You've heard the request. Is there an objection? Hearing none, then the vote count shows 35 in favor with none against. House Bill 428 has passed the Senate. Hearing no correction of title, the title is approved, and the bill will be returned to the House.
Mr. President.